if AI could do your job better than you within the next year, who are you without it?
Mm,
Translation. Um, it's specifically for males. We talking about males, but people in general. But for us, we talking about males. So the male, as we continue talking about this, the male identity is disproportionately tied to work, right? And the psychological side of that is uh, it's not the economic side; it's the gap nobody's really talking about. So the question that I have for you is, if your job vanished tomorrow, who are you?
man, that's deep. How you want me to really answer, or how you want me to answer?
Answer how you feel. This real authentic. It's not scripted.
Nah,
I just have questions for to guide us, but
that's
yeah,
real, man. Nah, because this is real. Because it's funny. You said on the jump ball, you said, who are you without the AI? You got me thinking. I'm like, man, like, who are you with the AI? Because if I'm gonna lean in, like, for the fellas, especially if you in what they call us, white collar. If you in white collar, I guarantee you, your boss or your manager or the top of the company has thought, they've either thought, how can we replace the function or enhance the function with AI? I guarantee you, they're not just thinking, AI, what's that? You might need to jump ship if that's what's going on. Like the head of your company is trying to figure out how to leverage AI to help all of us out. And so you need to be doing the same thing, whether on a personal level and on a professional level, like especially on a professional level. And so, man, but to your point about, okay, let's say you lost your job tomorrow. God forbid, but listener, something happens. We lose your role tomorrow. I
yeah.
think that I think that you need to be leveraging AI yesterday, and not just because I know that's a broad phrase. What does that mean? I'm gonna give two specific use cases real quick that you can already be doing, even with the free plan. You can start documenting receipts using AI. I shouldn't be giving this out. I'm gonna give it out. You can start documenting your receipts with AI. Just talk to it, tell it what you did. Don't exaggerate and lie, but because they can still call your old company even if it folds. They can, the CEO still is alive, but just give it the receipts, and it can help you format your resume. But more importantly, it can help you. I think a word I heard you use recently. It can help you build out a brag book. Like that's gonna be something that builds your own confidence before you even talk about interviews and all that. That's just gonna have you feeling like, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, because we go day to day and just, oh man, it's cool to me, but do they care? Does it matter in the real world? But this is gonna be a real way of finding that out, capturing this data and receipts, and then go figuring out the real market value. That's two things I would tell you to go do with AI yesterday.
Okay. Okay. So from your perspective, I find my spots to give my perspective. But I got a follow-up question. Then I actually just got another question, but I want to ask this one first. And I want to get your so is just adapt used for advice or something people say so they don't have to sit with how big this actually is in terms of AI in a workspace? Um, yeah,
What's that movie? Was it State Prop? I'm taking it back. State Property, when he's a get down and lay down.
that's
Listen,
throwback.
you gonna have
Throwback.
listen. You can theorize all you want, but you gonna either theorize on our side or you gonna theorize underneath us. Is my point. So you got to figure
Mm,
out how to if you really, I don't care if you hate AI, you got to figure out how to hate AI from within the machine, if that makes sense, or running alongside the machine. So we just got to figure it out. And so, and if you mess around and love it, oh man, the opportunities multiply even more. You get a chance to. It's not about AI. What I love about AI is that what I think it's best used for is preparing yourself for communication with real humans, not just talking to AI all day. And so, if it makes you a better communicator, then it's already doing its job.
so ain't gonna lie, the conspiracy theory side in me, it feel like we at some point it's gonna be the machines versus the humans. Um, if you know what I mean, it just I don't know. It just feel like some of these movies that I watched back in the day. It just seems like it's it's real. Like it seemed like it's trending towards that direction. I remember watching one movie where it was an AI that they was working with, and then the AI created a back door for itself and was like, "Mm-mm, you ain't shutting me off. Mm-mm, I shut you up. Mm-mm, I shut you out." And it protected itself, and then it started going and doing all type of crazy stuff, and then the humans was trying to figure out how to shut it down, and it was creating all type of chaos around the world. Fake news, you know that term, fake news. It was creating like news that you would see, you thinking it's really happening around the world, but it's not happening, and what it was just creating so much problems and chaos. Obviously, it's a movie. It's a movie, so it can't. It's, you talking about a movie. It's not real. But at the same time, you have when you're thinking about things, I just like to think about the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. It don't mean that I'm not gonna participate. But I don't know, man. That's just where my head go. Sometimes I go conspiracy theory, and it's almost this is a perfect. This actually is a perfect cue up to my next question because it's AI. And what happens a lot of times is people are outsourcing your thoughts and the critical. If we're not careful, it's gonna come a time where like you don't even think. Like you're not even like thinking for yourself. Like you can't even like really function without using something outside of yourself. And God designed us to be amazing and creative and all these things. And so yes, there are some. So I just think about it from a holistic standpoint, not from a alarmist standpoint. But I just always when I'm hearing these leaders, these AI leaders, just paint the most rosiest picture without any of the um governance, like the governance side of it, and like the risk is like, well, the good outweigh the bad, we just gonna do it. Like for
Right.
example, even with the data centers, people don't realize like with those data centers, I'm not knocking it, but it impacts those local communities. It impacts their water, and it impacts some things. And so these are the things that aren't talked about. So it's just like, it's just the cost of doing business. But guess what? Guess where they be putting those data centers? It don't be in the ritzy areas. It, it be in the kind of lower income typically. Um, and so you like, how convenient is that? you know? So anyway, that's Ken going on his rant, his conspiracy bag. But let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to something tangible and meaningful. I know I'm not the only one to have these thoughts. I'm just living in the world. I'm one man. But here's something before we close that I wanna run by you. So what would it take to build? Uh, what would it take to build an identity that has nothing to do with your paycheck? Because let's be real, people are you studying AI because it's connected to the bag somehow. Like you like now, some people do genuinely like it and they see the use case, but let's be real. Most people are being influenced by the messaging. Hey, you go AI's taking your job. And so what's a normal human thought? Well, let me learn how to use AI so it don't take my job. Or if it do, I'll be positioned for something else. But how do you build an identity that has nothing to do with the check, with the paycheck, with money?
Man, that's I'm gonna say that every time. That's deep, but that's real. Like, cause I mean, I'm wondering, like, should you? But I mean, yeah, of course. Cause in terms of you're not gonna be, even if getting money is important, but to your point, you might not. There's many ways to skin a cat. Some of you always say you might do different things, and so you don't want to just put all of your character or personality points into that one basket. Like to your point, you got to develop outside of. I think that the more that you can develop outside of that, probably the more you can return back into that basket. Like I think it's kind of
Mm.
paradoxical. Like I think something me and you be talking about is when people are just doing it for the money. Like you can tell, like energy is one of the few things that there's not a lot of people that I feel like can fake energy. Some
Yeah.
people probably can, but it's like Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A. It's not, the difference is the food quality. Yes, there's some difference, but nah, they in there teaching energy. Like, yes, ma'am. Like, no, it's my pleasure. Not we out. What you want?
That's
Like
different. That's different.
so it's different. It make the chicken taste a little better. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's real.
Yeah. So that's that building your confidence up, your self worth, and all those things. Because what it makes me think about is life. Well, knock on wood, life can be long. Um, it seems like it go by quick though, but but life can be long, and a part of the journey is you may change disciplines, you will change interests, and if your identity is tied up to I'm this, and then when this is no longer there, who are you? Because when you were that, you was driving impact, doing great things. You getting kudos. You the man. You the woman. In this case, we talking about men, so you the man. And then it's like it goes away, and then you start having thoughts of deleting yourself just because you feel like you have nothing, and that's a real thing with men. That's a real thing. It's a real thing with people, but specifically with men, especially how wrapped up we are with our identities and money.
That's real. And and it's so intoxicating, I think, because you just know, like you got this feeling like I just know once I got that figured out, it's all figured out. Everything is just
Fact.
this is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
hardest thing to do. And once I got that, oh man, I'm set. Mm.
No, it's an infinite game. And what I'm getting at is the goalposts. We always move the goalposts. So you hit this one target and you thinking like that's gonna be everything for me. Then you hit that target. Then it's like, okay, what's the next like? And then you automatically looking for to reset. And I just think that we were designed that way to just always be pursuing something, as long as it's meaningful for you. You mentioned purpose earlier. I think that we don't explore that often enough. We allow society to tell us what our purpose should be or what skill sets we should go down or what. And some people say, screw your passion, your purpose. And so it's just so much mixed up information out there. And so to your point, I don't even think you can't blame anyone else for you watching, you pocket watching, or you watching what they doing and them being great and good at what they do, and then you like, I want to do that, and then you go over there and do that, and that does not even align with what's important to you, your mission. It doesn't align with your natural wiring, like what you do well naturally, and then like that way it can give you unfair advantage with something that you bring to the table that you do effortlessly, and then it's just sharpening it up. You add some skills with it, and you a bad boy, bad girl. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you 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 watching Hulk be the Hulk, but you Iron Man. But you get my point. So you don't even recognize. Let me reverse it, because me and you was talking about this the other day. So you're so busy watching, because Hulk is one of my favorite ones. So we're talking about Marvel. So you so busy watching what's one of them characters?
Spider-Man.
You watching Spider Man do his thing, right? And that's coming out, so I'm excited about that. So huge Marvel fan. You see Spider Man doing his thing, flying around the city with his web, whatever, hitting people with the web, hitting you like, man, I want to. Like, bro, what? Why? You you green. You big. You can jump high. You be crushing stuff. You be tearing stuff up. Bro, you great. But what you're doing? Why you want to be Spider Man? And then you like, who me? And you don't even. And it's like, yeah, you. What you're doing? That's not normal. That's a super. That's a superpower. And so sometimes going to the identity, you don't even realize you sitting on gold, just being who you are, and then with just some tweaks that you just need to make, and that'll be a part of the process of growing, like having a. Um, I'm pivoting just a little bit, but I'll tie it together. So, for example, you got to have a Mr. Miyagi in your life, and so, because for example, I went to a golf clinic. That because that's my I'm learning golf, and I went to a golf clinic last weekend, and I was getting Mr. Miyagi. It was an Asian guy, and we were there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and he was talking and educating us the whole time. People was getting itchy and ready to hit the just go grab the club and just start hitting balls. He was like, no, 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 we're not doing that first. We're not doing that first. There are some fundamental things that you need to know first before we get there, and it's gonna make your game easy, and you're gonna do it more effortlessly. And people like are confused on how you're doing it this way. And so what I'm getting at is you probably already do something well, and you're discounting what your superpower is. And sometimes maybe your Mr. Miyagi is a coach, maybe it's a mentor to help pull out what's already in you, but helping you realize it's there.
Man, that's real. You might need your master
Almost
splinter.
right, almost like, well, it's not a mirror, but like having a mirror and like like look at you, like, man, you great. And so when I because think about it, Jordan had a Tim Grover, I think that's his name. Kobe used the same guy. Like, so they didn't do it on their own. When you are doing it by yourself, our bodies are naturally wired to stop short, to protect itself, like in order to go to the brink of exhaustion and really get to that greatness for you. If you're saying that's something that's important to you, you got to get Mr. Miyagi. That's the only way you're gonna really not protect yourself from yourself. It's like, I know, I see what you're doing. You got a little bit more in the tank. Keep going. Hey, you about to stop short. And let me make it real. We done been at some point you done worked out. People done worked out or something. Like you was working out, doing a set, and you could have got a one or two more. You just stopped. But then you go work out with someone else, and you like, man, that was a good workout. And it's because y'all pushed each other, and you got them extra 2 to 3 reps that you would have never done by yourself. And you still might have had a pretty good workout. It's a difference, though. It's a
It
difference.
is.
So as we close with this segment, uh, in the chat, what's one skill you genuinely believe uh, that can't be automated? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Now I will tell you that it's not algorithm friendly to go against the grain with AI. Just so you know, if anybody ever want to know that, it's not going to promote that.